Okay, hallelujah. It is just fantastic to be here and to share with you. And we've got loads to share. Don't know how we're going to do this, but we've got about 3 people who are on the trip with us of 10 that would really, really love to share for about 1.5 minutes each, tops. If I can just invite you guys to come up. Ginger, Angela, and Maggie.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I just want to start by saying that mission is awesome. I'm not the person that I left, that I am when I came back. God has really changed me. I felt a really, really strong influence and presence of God while I was out there on mission in Albania. And I'm just really excited to see what God does with me now that I'm back here in England. And yeah, it's just amazing. Thank you.
Having been on a mission trip before to another part of Albania 2 years ago, you sort of think you've been there and you've done that and it's not going to be much different, but boy, it really is. I met different people, I had new experiences, it was a great team that we were with. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to live with you all for a week. But we saw God do amazing things, and what really struck me about this trip was that, wow, I've been experiencing and exposed to a whole new level of faith. When you're with people who have nothing but faith, and then you see faith and more faith and more faith, it really humbled me to know that sometimes I've been taking God for granted and some of the stuff that he does for me, but it's really led me to a deeper relationship with Christ, because when you think there is nothing, he is going to provide something, provided that you are in his will and operating within that will. So for me now, what next? I want to learn some more Albanian, actually, because I'd really like to go back. But it's made me think even more about those Albanians who are here and what can I do to help positively influence their lives and enrich their lives through my experiences with God here. So I'm just waiting to see what God does next with me.
So we met lots of young people of secondary school age, and we told them some stories from the Bible, stories about Jesus. And then we had some discussion groups, and in one group there was a girl, and she was just glowing, and she was longing to tell her story. And her story was that she had had some really important exams, more exams than usual. And as she prepared for this, she prayed and she fasted. She fasted and she prayed, and she worked hard and she worked hard. And she'd been very keen on these exams. And then she went and sat the papers. And when the results came out, which they'd come out a few days before, she hadn't done very well. And her friend said to her, "Keep trusting in Jesus, keep trusting in Jesus." And then on the day that we were actually doing storytelling at her church, she went to see the teacher with her paper to say what happened. And as the teacher was going through the paper with her, the teacher said, "Oh, there's some marks I forgot to add in. Oh, there's some more marks I forgot to add in." And actually, this young woman had done really well. and she was so excited to tell us that. And then, so just doing storytelling in this country, today my friend told me that he'd actually come across someone who had been backslidden away from the Lord for quite a while. And this person had come and said, "I don't know if I can do it. How can I come back to God after all this time?" And my friend told him the beginning, the first half of the story of the prodigal son, and how the father watched out for him, and when he began to come back, how the father wouldn't even listen to the excuses or the apology or the repentant heart. He just said, no, come, I'll put a robe on you, shoes, a ring for your finger, because the son we lost has been found. Think how much more powerful that is for my friend to have said that to this person than to have said, "Well, I think this, and this is what my advice is." And I delight in the power of telling these stories. It was great in Albania, and it's great here.
Amen. Thanks, guys. Just to wrap up, one of the things which came through very, very powerfully for us was the power of prayer. And we often pray and we hope and expect God to do some things. Last year we were in Albania, and for us to get into the schools, we had to go through the principal, the head of year, the school governor, the whole shebang. Before we went, and thank you all for the guys who were here praying and watching for us, we went out just to hand out invitation to students outside of school, and we were invited in and allowed to conduct a whole 45-minute session in a school. And you ask God for things, and when he does it, you go, whoa, we expected it, Lord, but not that much. We worked with a church in Kucova, and we're pleased to report that having left, the pastor has said, I now need to find a new building, because our numbers we're anticipating to be expanding beyond that which we have. The God we serve is awesome. Simple, intentional obedience caused a seismic change in a whole town. Those were exciting and fabulous times, but we also saw really darkness in one area which was almost down to a quarter of its population, because they had all moved out to go work on a drugs farm, because that was the only source of income. And the sad thing is, a lot of the people that left were church members. That broke In the midst of everything, we give God thanks for all that we were able to do and he was able to do through us. But we know that we have an adversary. And the good thing is, what we've learned coming back is the intentionality of being obedient to God. The mission field is absolutely ripe here in Luton, and we are absolutely motivated to do that. God bless.